I picked this hammer up at a garage sale. The head has a weird shape. The handle is about 16 inches long. The head is 3.5 inches wide. It may be missing something from the back of the head. I have no idea. What is it and what is it used for? It's a vintage wood flooring mallet, missing the rubber bumper on the knob side. The slanted side is for optimal contact with the plank of wood that gets set into a tongue and groove floor. I've been in the flooring business all my life. What is this yellow foam block that is shaped like cheese? It has 8 holes and splits open on one side. It is about 1.5 feet in length, and the holes are around 4 inches in diameter. A man whose father-in-law had died let me have it to give to my cats to see if they'd like it. Any ideas? It's a foot drop cradle. It is used for foot injuries after surgery. It prevents foot drop and stabilizes feet following surgery. And it also features cutouts for easier ice pack accessibility and enhanced air circulation. What is this white plastic with an elasticated cord? 30 centimeters in length, powerclad.com printed on the side, left by contractors at work. My best guess is that you use the pointy end to jam through something and secure something with the loop. Looks fairly worn. The pointy end was all jammed in before I straightened it a little. It's a toggle tie. It is suitable for installing scaffold sheeting, filter sheeting, insulated sheeting, sound barriers and vented sheeting. What are these wires suspended above freeway on-ramps in Chandler and Tempe, Arizona? Sometimes I see them over an on-ramp. This one is on an overpass. It stretches across 6-7 traffic lanes. I only see them in that part of town and only the one freeway. There are no signs or traffic lights, or anything else attached to it. It looks like a wire suspended between 2 poles. Is there a Jewish community nearby? Looks like part of an eruv. It's a symbolic boundary that allows the people inside of it the ability to do things like push a baby stroller or even carry a child on the Sabbath. What is this brass cylinder with measurements on the top and adjustable glass slates inside? I found this in a thrift shop, and nobody had any idea what it was or what time frame it was from. It has a diameter of 7.5 centimeters and a height of 3 to 4 centimeters without the cap. There are some glass slates inside that can be adjusted, and a hole that somewhat seems like a hole to look into, although it is way too small to actually see anything. What is it? That is a sextant. It is a doubly reflecting navigation instrument that measures the angular distance between 2 visible objects. The primary use of a sextant is to measure the angle between an astronomical object and the horizon for the purposes of celestial navigation. What is this metal thing that has 2 circular discs? One has a tab and rotates while the other is attached to the wall and has a tab labeled closed at the 12 o'clock mark. It's mounted on the door frame of a closet about 1 foot from the floor. The house was built in 1928. It has the patent of age, but could have been added any time between 1928 and when the house was purchased in 2020. There isn't anything that corresponds to it on the inside of the closet. When I tug on the top disc it doesn't come off, but does feel a little bit springy. What is it? That is an old furnace damper control. Chains would run through the floor and down to the dampers and allow you to close and open them from here, effectively making a room hotter or colder by adjusting the heat in the furnace. What are these plastic tapered tools that are approximately 6 inches long with small metal loops on the end? There is also a wooden one without any loop. I found them inside a vintage bag with small cutting tools and magnifying lenses. Any ideas? They're called film line cutters. Round-headed ones were used in the printing industry to score lines into large format negatives. What are these dark gray vent-like things on the side of a house towards the ground in the UK? They are made out of ceramics. The house looks like it dates back to the early 20th century, but these may be a more recent addition. They are called Dutch damp proofing. My very quick understanding is that air flowing along the side of the building will be guided into, then back out of brickwork by the part sticking out. The idea is that it'll carry moisture out with it. In other words, it's a ventilation system for when you have damp walls. What is this tool with two quarter spheres mounted to a long metal handle? A rod inside the handle allows for the opening and closing of the half-sphere halves. It's an all-metal tool that we got with our house when we bought it, but I'm not sure what it's used for. That is a handy clam. It's a multi-purpose hand tool that lets you clean out catch basins and manholes. I've worked with these in the past, and we do use them in drainage. They are heavy, but the thing is you're just lifting it up and to the side. Plus the weight helps you break twigs and such that are in drain gullies. What is this hinged metal thing about 3 inches by 1.5 inches secured to a block of wood? Not sure where to begin to search for the purpose of this. Any ideas? It's a 1920s rope holder or a clothesline bracket. If you ran a clothesline through the tines and under the hinge, it would self-tighten the clasp at the bottom. To loosen it, you'd yank the loose end to the right, and it would slip through the groove cast into that side. What is this heavy metal basket with a socket at the base that is 1.25 inches in diameter? Around 5.5 pounds. Rings are held in place by the 6 wavy metal pieces. Wavy metal pieces are connected to the socket by a large flat head screw in the base of each. Part of an auction lot, so no idea where it came from. It's a Victorian-era torch sconce. Medieval ones would not have a screw, but a blacksmith-made rivet, probably a decorative piece designed to hold an oil lamp, or converted to take a gas or electric light. What is this possible engineering survey tool with a bubble level on base, 3-degree scales on a sextant looking thing with one set of degrees from 0 to 30, 0 to 60, and 0 to 90. When you look through the scope it magnifies, but the image is upside down, and it also has screws to fine-tune the measurements. I've had this for years and couldn't find anyone who knew what it was. That is a vintage Geodetic optical leveling instrument. It's a surveying tool, an instrument used to establish or verify points in the same horizontal plane. It is used in surveying and building to measure height differences and to transfer, measure and set heights. These levels are robust and reliable, ideal for outdoor use. What is this 7 inches long cut or molded glass with a fin inside? I found it in the kitchen section of a local thrift store. It's glass, kind of bullet shaped, and the end where I'm holding it is open, so it's not a typical dish. There's a fin in the middle of the dish, close to the flat, open end of the bullet shape. I didn't see any additional markings. My friend said that it holds jelly or mustard packets, but that seems incongruous with the formal appearance of the item. It's a crystal knife holder. The blade ends of butter knives rest in the holder on the buffet table, so the dish doesn't get touched when the guests pick up a knife by the handle. What is this thing? Small triangular circuit board with brass or copper posts sticking out both sides, mounted partially within a metal cone that has antenna-like stuff, wire out the tip. The front and back sides are shown, found tied by its own wires to a broken branch, possibly after being found by another curious hiker. I found it in Snafu Lake, southern Yukon, many kilometers away from the nearest habitation and 2 kilometers from the campground. What is it for? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.